Hi, this is Eduardo Encina, Orioles beat writer for BaltimoreSun.com. I'm here with Peter Schmuck, columnist for Baltimore Sun and BaltimoreSun.com. We are here at Orioles spring training here in lovely Sarasota, Florida. And today we're going to talk about the starting rotation. We're still waiting for the arrival of Yovani Gallardo, who's agreed to terms on a 3-year, $35 million deal. He still has to arrive here at the Ed Smith Stadium complex and take a physical, and before that deal gets completed, so that could take a couple days. But obviously, Peter, this rotation has changed. You know, there's no longer a competition for that number 5 spot, essentially. Guys who were competing for that spot, guys like Vance Worley, Mike Wright, Odrisamer Despaigne, Tyler Wilson. We're going to have to see those guys maybe in a different role, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the addition of Yovani Gallardo obviously completes the 5-man rotation, barring injuries, of course. And so you have this pool of other starting candidates who still have to compete because you can't assume that all 5 starters will be healthy on opening day. So you have a Mike Wright competing against a Tyler Wilson. And just a quick plug, I'll be addressing that particular competition and the friendship between those two young men in the Baltimore Sun and BaltimoreSun.com a little later today. But the situation for those players is that there are bullpen roles available, and they still have to compete for either a spot starter spot or a place on what we call the Norfolk Shuttle. Buck Showalter, in the course of a season, is going to call up a starter to make a spot start probably 5 to 10 times over the course of the season. And that's an important role because it's like an instant audition for a guy who's pitching well at AAA Norfolk. So these competitions are important. The fact that the rotation is stable now with 5 essentially veteran starters, if you want to call Kevin Gausman a veteran. He's not really. This will be his first full season in the rotation. But it is a stable rotation situation right now with some variables at the far end of it.
Like you mentioned, Peter, there is now stability to the rotation. We know who the 5 guys are going to be, but like you said, you do have that Norfolk Shuttle, and we know the philosophy of the Orioles over the years has been that it's not just going to be 5 guys. We're going to see Mike Wright, we're going to see Tyler Wilson, and they've really worked to develop this roster to have guys with options. Now, whether those guys, we see those guys in terms of spot starts or to relieve the bullpen when the bullpen gets taxed, we'll probably see them in both ways, to be honest with you. Despaigne is another guy who has options. So there is a list of 8, 9, even 10 guys deep that we could see in either spot start roles or in bullpen roles. And that's really been an emphasis for the past several years in terms of having this depth. But, for the first time, I think in a while, you do have established starters. Obviously, we're waiting for a bounce-back season from Miguel Gonzalez. We're waiting for a better season from Chris Tillman. But when you look at the 5 guys, these are established guys now.
And that's a very important point right now, but at the same time, you always have to remember that the average Major League team, good, bad, or indifferent, is going to use 8 or 9 starters by the end of the year. So these guys that are on the fringes need to not lose hope. They need to not look at Yovani Gallardo coming in here, costing them a job, because there still are jobs to win. I'm Peter Schmuck, columnist for the Baltimore Sun and BaltimoreSun.com.
I'm Eduardo Encina. Keep following us online, in the paper, and on video here from Sarasota, where the Orioles are having spring training.